Our top story: controversy on Tybee Island after city leaders reject a plan to protect historic areas.
The proposal would have covered Fort Screven and the North Campbell neighborhood, and now the mayor says they're looking for another way forward. WSAV's Isabella Baez joins us now with those details.
That's right, Tina. Tybee Mayor Brian West says last week's vote does not mean historic structures are now at risk of demolition, adding that he and City Council are still working on a plan that balances preservation with property owners' rights.
The perception of it is that, City Council doesn't care about the history of Tybee, and that's the furthest thing from the truth there is. We absolutely do care about history.
During last week's meeting, Council voted against designating Fort Screven and the North Campbell neighborhood as a historic district, a plan that has been in the works for the past 2 years by the Tybee Historic Preservation Commission. The proposal would have required property owners in the district to get approval for exterior changes, including things like fences and windows.
If it was in this district, there would be an extra checkbox on there that said, is this home, are you trying to do anything significant as far as changes go to the home? Try and make it look as original as you possibly can.
The district includes 124 historic contributing properties, along with 75 non-historic properties that would have been subject to the same guidelines. West says that raised concern among residents and became a key factor in the council's decision.
Yeah, we absolutely need the protection for those facilities. We just have to find a way to do it that doesn't also include properties that don't necessarily need protection. In order to get the designation of it being a historic district, you have to include everything. So the people that are in those homes would have to trust that the commission is going to let them do what they want with their own property.
West says the next steps is for city staff to explore alternatives, including a conservation district or overlay that could still offer protection. Isabella Baez, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Thank you, Isabella. A man is recovering after being shot earlier today, and injuries Savannah police say is not life-threatening. Officers responded to the 2200 block of Utah Street, where they say the shooting stemmed from a domestic-related incident. Police are still investigating. Anyone with information is urged to call Crime Stoppers at 912-234-2020. Developing now. The Effingham County Sheriff's Office is investigating an early morning altercation that left 2 men with stab wounds. It happened near Highway 17 and Blue Jay Road. Authorities say the 4400 block of Blue Jay Road were shut down for hours while investigators worked that scene. Effingham County Sheriff's Office spokesperson Brian Bailey says the initial 911 call was made by a bystander. Witnesses on scene and even posts on social media suggest a car or possibly a third person may have been involved. Investigators say that information has not been confirmed, but they are looking into it.
That information was out on Facebook, so there is a truck that is on the side of the road right now. We're still trying to pinpoint how that connects to either one of the victims or both the victims. We still don't know 100% sure how that truck relates to the situation, but there is a truck here on scene that is on the side of the road.
Officials confirm the investigation is ongoing. We will keep you updated both online and on air as new information becomes available.
One adult and one juvenile, or 2 juveniles rather, in custody after a vehicle break-in Walterboro early this morning. 20-year-old Dejon Hayes, along with 2 teenagers, 14 and 16, were arrested after police responded to the 3200 block of Beach Road around 2 in the morning. Deputies chased a suspect vehicle that later crashed and, using canine units, tracked the suspects to a second car. Hayes faces multiple charges while the 2 teenagers were taken to the Department of Juvenile Justice in Columbia. We're getting a first look at how our first responders spent St. Patrick's Day. New numbers from the Chatham Emergency Services and Savannah Fire show just how busy it was across the holiday weekend and parade day. From Friday afternoon through early this morning, Chatham EMS responding to 93 calls in the festival area along the parade route. 33 people taken to the hospital. Officials say the most common calls included falls, unresponsive patients, alcohol-related incidents, and other medical emergencies. At the same time, Savannah Fire responding to 41 calls during the event, ranging from unconscious patients and car crashes to fires, seizures, and even water rescues. Crews also handled shootings, elevator rescues, and multiple false alarms. We have reached out to Savannah Police for their numbers. They tell us we can expect that report in the next few days.
It's a situation no one wants to face, but one military leader says they have to be ready for at any moment. Only on News 3, WSAV's Danielle Cobb is taking you inside a realistic active shooter training at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island. We do want to warn you. The video may be disturbing, though everything you're about to see is part of a controlled simulation.
It's not if, it's when something like this happens, and it's an extremely unfortunate mentality to have, but we will be prepared on Parris Island.
Marines on Parris Island preparing for response on the worst case scenario.
This way.
But now also a new reality.
Active shooter threats are an unfortunate part of our society nowadays, but certainly military installations across the country have been impacted. You can name several.
Including Savannah's Fort Stewart last year. Base personnel and local first responders putting their training to test, responding to an active shooter at Marine Corps Exchange. It's a simulation, but very real exposure into what they have to do in the critical moments to protect future Marines, their families, and civilians.
Last scene, right side. It's your head.
The shooter down doesn't mean the response stops or the scene is clear.
From investigatory type actions to taking care of those that have been directly impacted by the active shooter threat.
We got one. What else I got?
The hope is that they will never have to use their active shooter training skills, but these Marines and first responders are prepared just in case.
One of our most important conclusions is that we are ready.
Danielle Cobb, WSAV News 3, on your side.
It's that time of year when your phone starts lighting up with calls, texts, and emails from political campaigns asking for your vote and your money. But experts say it's also prime time for scammers. Fundraising scams are on the rise, with criminals impersonating candidates and political parties trying to cash in on causes that you care about. Officials say to watch for red flags like email addresses that don't match or calls that sound like a candidate you know, but something feels just a little off. Some of those calls may even be generated using AI.
Be skeptical, acknowledge that you're getting that conversation, text message or phone call, and hang up. Go do your own research and call them first. If they're pretending to be a political advocate, if they're pretending to be the IRS, find the official number for those offices, give them a call and let them know, hey, I just want to double check. Did I receive a phone call and was this really you guys?
If something doesn't seem right, trust your instincts. Hang up and do your make sure you're donating through an official campaign website.
The city of Savannah is reporting a sanitary sewer spill on the south side, and officials say it impacted several local waterways. City leaders say about 4,750 gallons of wastewater spilled on Monday near Sherwood Road. The exact cause is still under investigation, but officials believe a blockage is to blame. The spill impacted Casey Canal, Hainers Creek, the Vernon River, and the Ogeechee River. Officials say they'll also be reaching out to customers in the area and installing new monitoring equipment to help prevent future spills. It is the end of an era for a spot many in Savannah say feels like home. A longtime local favorite is getting ready to serve its final meals as the family behind it makes a difficult decision about what comes next. WSAV's Nikaya Harris with the story.
Inside Nairobia's Grits and Gravy, these walls hold more than just meals. They hold memories for the family who built it and the community that kept coming back.
Saida Reed, daughter of the owners, says now is the right time to make the call. A family decision she says wasn't easy. A closure many say is ending on a positive note despite a push from the community to keep it open. The restaurant has been a part of the Savannah community for more than 2 decades, serving customers that eventually became friends. They say it's time for the magic hands behind the food to retire, and with fewer hands in the kitchen, the restaurant will soon be short-staffed.
The person that had the passion for this when we first started was my brother. Unfortunately, we lost him 4 years ago. And that's the person who pretty much came up with a lot of the menu along with my mom, and he would have kept it going. But unfortunately, we lost him, so it's kind of like, you know, it's hard to keep it going. But his son is taking after him, and he's going to school for culinary arts. So we're not going to say maybe forever, one day we might just try it again.
Now the restaurant says it will serve its last customers on March 28th. Reporting in Savannah, Nakaya Harris, WSAV News 3, on your side.